So hello, thanks for joining me today. We are in Mazomanie at New Heights Church in the Grove. Are we in the Grove now?
We're in the
Yes,
Grove.
okay. At the Grove. Here we are.
Can you guys introduce yourselves?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Pastor Rob Nelson. I've been serving this congregation for 17 years. And this is the realization of a dream that we've been working on for a long, long time. And we're finally here in the building and in the middle of the renovations.
I'm Faith Phelan. I'm the church administrator here. So I was brought on staff about 2.5-ish years ago, specifically to kind of do operations and procedures, but also really push us into the Grove with some full-time staff on the project. So I was a part of the Grove transition and happy to be here, part of it.
So tell me the story. This is a new building. It may not look new. It is an old building that is becoming new.
New life.
So tell me the story of how this, literally, if you hear the crashes, tell me the story of how you all arrived here as a church, and then also the difference between what's the Grove versus New Heights and what that is.
Yeah, I'll start with the backstory maybe, and you can talk about the Grove piece. So this was really a redevelopment, 2 small churches that were a 2-point sharing me when I first came, and really just trying to keep the doors open. And over the next few years, we kind of cast a vision to become one congregation and look towards some kind of joint ministry in the future. And so we ultimately did that to become New Heights Church, and then we bought some land to build on, and for a long, long time, we're working towards building a new building. And as we did that, we ultimately got a few years ago to some construction documents and a brand new, updated, inflated price. and we all said, oh man, this feels like it's getting further away, not closer. And that same weekend, this school went up for sale. Our school district built a new building, and they closed 2 smaller schools, and we came and looked at it. And what had happened over the years in between is our vision kept getting smaller because the price of everything was growing. We saw this building, and all of a sudden it was, everything's back on the table.
Yeah.
There's all these things God wants to do, now we can do them.
Yeah, the idea of the Grove kind of came from truly like values of hospitality and welcome. New Heights Church is just an incredibly intergenerational, passionate, God-loving church, and in that, as this vision has grown, I think there's been the realization that to bring Jesus to people, you can't shove Jesus down people's throats and then be like, that's Jesus, right? It doesn't work that way. So the idea for the Grove is really to develop a community center where this campus is a hub for everybody to come to get what they're looking for, to get connected. We say the mission of the Grove is to be a space where people can gather, connect, and thrive. And New Heights Church is stewarding that process, putting bumpers on things, if you will. But we're also a part of this space, just like other resources will be. I've started thinking of it as like a strip mall. Like you go to Oakwood Village, right? Well, at Oakwood Village, you're going to visit the Nike store and the whatever store. Well, you're going to come to the Grove for X, Y, Z things. And New Heights Church is a part of that, but it's not the only thing. And we're better together, so.
So talk to me a little bit about, you've talked about what's happening here broadly, but okay, I come to the Grove. What can I do here, or what will I be able to do here? Because as we've said, this is a process.
Yeah.
So our core values are really shaping where we're focusing time and energy, and we expect this to evolve. But right off the bat, we're thinking intergenerationally. One of the difficulties out here is that there aren't places for our seniors to gather, or in the winter to safely navigate. And so part of the vision here is a walking loop where people can come and walk, tables where they can sit and play cards or drink coffee. We also have a gym here, a really nice gym, and so pickleball. Anybody? Pickleball is a big one.
Big deal.
Yeah, but also a great gym for after-school programming for kids, all sorts of basketball, other kinds of options. We're also thinking on the children and youth side, what kinds of programming is needed. Early childhood education, maybe caregiving, after-school programming. We think we can offer all sorts of opportunities. Some of those might be learning, some of those might be in the arts. We're excited about intergenerational opportunities for mentoring and connecting. things like that. And then I think on the maybe you want to talk about on the resource side how we want to care for people.
Yeah, so the building has kind of 3 different wings, and one of those is what we're calling the resource wing. So in that kind of area of the building, we'll have a clothing closet and a food pantry. The local social services worker is moving in. We'll have a permanent office here, and we also have a fiber arts room where those that are crafty and have like handcraft skills can not only work together to create, but can then donate those to people that need them, right? So both a creation and a pour out elsewhere. So that's what's planned right now. We hope it'll grow, and as partners and connections are made, that's kind of where we'll house the resources for the Grove.
Yeah, we're an ELCA congregation, strong connections to Lutheran World Relief, and so the quilts are getting cranked out left and right now to get sent out. It's really fun.
Yeah.
So when I like initially emailed you to say, hey, I want to hear about this, one of the things you've been talking about is doing housing.
Yeah.
And as we walked around, I've heard that's shifted. Can you talk a little bit about that shifting and kind of why that shifted and how you guys have navigated some of that?
Yeah, I'll say there's one of our primary parameters here is where are the pain points in the community, where's the greatest need, and housing, senior housing in particular, is something we kept hearing over and over again. This is a need in the community.
Over and over.
And so as we looked at this space, we said, hey, there's so much room here, could we do some apartments? And initially that was a really big focus, and as we've been further along in the process, we know that in order for us to do that, we're a long ways out from the funding to make that happen. And so for right now, we're saying, okay, maybe that will still happen in the future, but right now we can use the space in other ways. But I think the capital needed to really do that in the short term just is prohibitive for us right now. But boy, is it a need in the community, and so we're still considering it. I don't know if you'd say more about that.
No, I think to address it though, the transition hasn't necessarily been negative, right? The goal wasn't to say, oh, we can't do it. Well, that's the end, right? This whole process of discernment and meeting with the community and meeting with leaders and understanding those pain points has allowed us to also recognize other pain points and other opportunities to serve. So I think it's great that the vision for this space, and as we learn more of God's vision for this space, we have to hold things loosely and be flexible and take them as they come. And so now there's other opportunities and pain points to serve, even though that may not be a focus right now.
Yeah, and I think that's so powerful because so often we get locked into this vision and be like, this is God's vision, when in reality, God's vision is unfolding.
Yeah.
And what we think it might be might actually be something else.
And I think that's what I've appreciated so much about our congregation. I mean, this has been a long journey, but we've continually said along the way, hey, this is God's, not ours. And so our job is to keep faithfully moving forward, and sometimes the next step is real clear, and sometimes it's cloudy. But we just keep trusting the process. And just like we got all the way through the construction drawings, but we really needed to get there to know that we're not going to do that. And instead, in God's timing, the school came open, and it's allowing us to do all we thought was we've been dreaming about. So. I'm really proud of our congregation for being patient with the process, trusting along the way and saying, hey, God's got this, and we're going to just keep following. So,
Love that.
Yeah.
So if people wanted to learn more, what should they do?
Yeah, so we're working on a new website for the Grove Regional Community Center, so there will be some official landing pages coming this fall. Right now they can follow New Heights on our website or on our social media platforms. We post regularly about the building project and try to keep people updated. And then from there they can always reach out directly too. So you can email me directly, faith@New Heights, or any of our staff, and conversations and partnerships and dreaming is always happening here, so it's always on the table, and happy to connect.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, Brianna.